We tried to figure out a way we could blow this cable car without blowing all the windows out of every house in San Francisco. They hate when that happens. And we ended up blowing the cable car with nitrogen canisters inside.
The Rock, a classic action film directed by Michael Bay and released in 1996, continues to captivate audiences with its high-octane thrills, memorable characters, and explosive set pieces. Behind the adrenaline-pumping action lies a treasure trove of fun facts, bloopers, and lesser-known tidbits that add depth to the film's legacy. Join us as we take a look behind The Rock. Real-life inspiration. The Rock draws its inspiration from a real-life event, an escape from Alcatraz Island in 1962. While the film takes a few creative liberties with the story, it maintains the essence of the daring prison break. The actual event involved a group of prisoners who meticulously planned their escape from what was considered the most secure prison in the United States at the time. While, according to officials, the attempt was ultimately unsuccessful, it captured the public's imagination and has since become the subject of numerous books, documentaries, and films. The Rock takes this gripping premise and amplifies it with high-stakes action and intrigue, creating a thrilling cinematic experience. Original cast considerations. Before Sean Connery was cast as John Mason, the role was offered to Hollywood heavyweights Clint Eastwood and Al Pacino, both of whom turned it down. Eastwood, famed for his iconic roles in westerns and action films, and Pacino, celebrated for his intense performances in crime dramas, were sought after for their star power and acting prowess. But their declinations opened the door for Connery to step into the role, bringing his own charisma and gravitas to the character of the enigmatic British spy and former Alcatraz prisoner. In an interview, Nick Cage had nothing but amazing things to say about Connery and his ability to be suave yet vulnerable on screen.
He's about as cool as it gets. You know, he's cool, but at the same time, he's not afraid to show jeopardy.
Chemical weapon. The Rock introduces the threat of VX nerve gas, a deadly chemical weapon, as the central plot device. VX is a real nerve agent known for its extreme toxicity and potency, making it a terrifying prospect in the hands of terrorists or rogue military operatives. Developed during the Cold War era, VX is one of the most deadly chemical weapons ever created, with even small doses capable of causing rapid and agonizing death. The inclusion of VX in the film adds a distinct layer of urgency and danger to the storyline. But while the movie presents VX as a deadly gas capable of causing rapid and agonizing death upon exposure, certain aspects of its portrayal deviate from real-world scientific understanding or military procedures. For example, VX is typically described as odorless and tasteless, yet in the film, characters can detect its presence through smell. Also, the immediate and dramatic effects of VX exposure depicted in the film, such as near instantaneous paralysis and death, may be exaggerated for dramatic effect. In reality, the onset of VX poisoning is slower, and symptoms may take several minutes to manifest fully. And the methods used to neutralize or contain VX in the film may not align with established military protocol. While the film portrays elaborate schemes to prevent the release of VX, the procedures depicted might not actually be what they would do in real-world situations. Military accuracy. To ensure authenticity in the depiction of military tactics and procedures, The Rock employed military advisors who provided guidance throughout the process. They brought their expertise and first-hand experience to the set, advising on everything from weapon handling to strategic planning. Geographical inconsistencies. One of the production errors in The Rock involves geographical inconsistencies, particularly in scenes that feature landmarks or locations not geographically accurate with the layout of San Francisco. For example, during a car chase scene, the route taken by the characters through the streets of San Francisco doesn't exactly align with the city's actual geography. And some scenes featured background elements and landmarks not geographically plausible given the film's setting. While these inconsistencies are generally minor and would go unnoticed by casual viewers, they can disrupt the immersion and realism of the film for people very familiar with the layout of San Francisco. Despite the errors, The Rock remains a beloved action film that continues to entertain with its thrilling storyline and dynamic performances. Uncredited rewrites. Aaron Sorkin, renowned for his sharp wit and masterful dialogue, contributed to the script of The Rock but went uncredited for his work. Sorkin's involvement brought an added layer of depth to the characters and dialogue, infusing the screenplay with his signature style. While the specifics of Sorkin's contributions may not be widely known, his influence can be felt throughout the film, particularly in the moments of rapid-fire banter and verbal sparring between characters. Car chase influence. The iconic car chase scene through the streets of San Francisco in The Rock has had a lasting influence on action cinema, particularly on the portrayal of vehicular stunts and chase sequences. Directed by Michael Bay with his trademark kinetic style, the scene is a masterclass in high-octane filmmaking, featuring fast-paced editing, dynamic camera movements, and adrenaline-fueled action. Its impact can be seen in subsequent action flicks, including the Fast and the Furious franchise. Director's cameo. Director Michael Bay makes a memorable cameo appearance as a tourist who encounters the Marines during the siege on Alcatraz. Bay's cameo is a playful nod to his own involvement in the film and adds a touch of humor to the intense action unfolding on screen. Dressed in a Hawaiian shirt and camera in hand, Bay's character serves as a brief but memorable moment of levity amidst the chaos of the siege. Ed Harris's preparation. Portraying the complex character of General Francis X. Hummel in The Rock, Ed Harris underwent intensive military training to prepare. He delved deep into the mindset of his character, a disillusioned military man driven to extreme measures by a sense of duty and betrayal. He spent time with Navy SEALs, immersing himself in their world and gaining insight into their training, tactics, and mindset. This dedication to research and preparation allowed Harris to deliver a nuanced and compelling performance, capturing the conflicted nature of General Hummel and adding depth to the character. Ed talked about what drives the character.
He really feels he has nothing to live for other than to try to bring honor to these brothers of his that have been very close to him, men that he led into battle and who he feels very responsible for their deaths.
Iconic line improvisation. One of the most memorable lines comes during a tense exchange between Sean Connery's character, John Mason, and Nick Cage's character, Stanley Goodspeed. In a moment of confrontation, Mason delivers the now iconic line, "Losers always whine about their best, winners go home and F the prom queen." This line, delivered with Connery's trademark gravitas, was improvised on the spot during filming. It's since become one of the most quotable moments in the film, emblematic of its sharp dialogue and memorable one-liners. And according to Michael Bay, the casting not only resulted in great improv and one-liners, but it was the key to getting the movie made in the first place.
We got Nick Cage first, then Sean Connery, and then we got Ed Harris. And that's the unique thing about this action movie. We've got great stars.
Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite scene from The Rock? Let us know in the comments section below.